Hi, welcome to one of the first videos of our series on helping you to achieve your desired writing band score. Today I'm going to be talking about the basics. In the IELTS academic writing test, you have to describe some information contained in a visual material and present the description in your own words. The information may be data, the stages of a process, how something works, or you may have to describe an object or an event. You have to write at least 150 words and spend about 20 minutes on this task. Here are 7 types of graphs that you will run into when practicing writing task 1. Bar graph is the first. The ever so popular line graph. The pie graph. The table. Mixed graphs. Flowchart. And maps. The first 5 have made appearances in numerous official tests, while the last 2 is not as popular, being given only about twice each year. So, how is the writing paper assessed? A trained assessor will read your answers and award a mark based on the following criteria. Did you answer the question fully and write 150 words? Is your writing easy to understand, and are your ideas well organized and clearly linked? Did you use a wide range of vocabulary accurately and effectively? Did you use a wide range of grammatical structures accurately and effectively? Got the general idea? Great! Let's move on to the basic structure of a report in an IELTS Task 1. Don't let the 7 different graph types intimidate you. The structure to a report of each type is fairly simple and for the most part, quite similar. They all start with an opening. This is where you can state the primary idea of the visual material. The statement, "The graph shows or illustrates," is a nice and popular choice to include in the opening. Next on the list is the second paragraph. You should start going into some details in this part, preferably the general trend, the most striking features of the material like, say, the maximum or minimum figure, and etc. According to the graph or table is a good way to start this part. After the second comes, of course, the third paragraph. Comparisons should be made in this part, and this is arguably the make or break component of your report. Good selection of information and relevant comparisons contributes significantly to your score. Thus, makes this part very important. This paragraph, along with the previous, is the body of your report, but they need to start differently to create variety and avoid repetition. You can use "as can be seen from the graph" or table, and "in terms of," with the exact same meaning as the suggestion for the second part, but it doesn't make your report boring. Oh, and here's a little tip. Think carefully about what you need to include in your description. Don't describe every single detail of the information. Choose the most important and interesting features to write about. And then the conclusion comes with a sigh of relief. A strong start needs a strong finish. Do not underestimate the power of the conclusion part, as this shows your opinion and understanding of the material, and it also makes the structure a lot more solid. The indicators of this part are usually in conclusion and in sum. So, you're still there. Fantastic. I like you already. We have got all the basics down. Now we need to understand the features of each graph type, and then we can work on the strategy to tackle them all. First up, is the bar graph. It's quite obvious that the amount of information these graphs provide is fairly large, which makes the classification and comparison quite complicated. But you just need to remember to report the maximum and minimum figures and also point out the overall trend as well as describe and compare the results. Tables are also popular when it comes to IELTS Writing Task 1. They often consist of a lot of figures and these are not presented in any particular order. What I would suggest is the two-dimension comparison method, which means comparing subjects in the table vertically and horizontally. You won't be missing any information using this method. Pie graphs provide information that is very visual, which makes them a lot easier to grasp. However, since the info amount isn't as large as that of other graphs, there are often two or more pie graphs or one pie graph and another type of graph shown in the test. Percentages and ratios are the main subjects you need to mention in the report. Oh, here's my, and apparently many others' favorite, line graphs. They clearly represent trends, plus they are straightforward and informative. The starting and ending points should be noted, along with, obviously, the shifting trend, indicating the point where multiple lines surpass each other, and not putting too many figures in your work is very important. Flowcharts, on the other hand, is quite intimidating. These take more time to be fully grasped, and there are certain expressions and verbs you need to learn by heart to make your thought process flow smoothly, since most of the time, these charts only provide names of their components instead of stating what exactly is happening. Comparing maps, usually one of the past with one at present, might be a bit unfamiliar to most people, but it's not so difficult. You basically need to mention the prominent changes and check if you're using the correct tense for describing each map. It is also crucial to have a wide range of expressions describing location. We've gone through all the fuss of different task types and basic report structure. Now, you don't want all your hard work to be a vain attempt, do you? Then you need to check your writing when you have finished, because proofreading can actually change your score. Use a checklist every time you practice writing. Here, I have a great one for you. First, have you written at least 150 words? Have you included an overview of the information? Have you selected the most important information? Have you supported your points with examples? Have you compared things effectively? Have you used linking words to connect your points? And lastly, have you checked for mistakes in grammar or spelling? Okay, I think that's it for the basics on writing task 1. I hope you find this helpful, and I'll see you guys next time with a further look into each graph type. Until then, bye!